Hey everyone, it's Olivia Logston, and today I'm going to be reading Chapter 3 of Fate the Winx Saga, Book 3. And so, yeah, let's jump straight into it. This chapter is, I wouldn't really say it's adapted from anything, like, it's adapted from Winx Club. I wouldn't say it's adapted from any specific episode, but I do know that Aisha's sister appears in Season 3 of Winx Club, and so I wanted to incorporate that somehow. But I don't think this is from any episode specifically. There's a lot of creative liberties, and it takes more from the live-action Winx Club, if anything. So, let's jump straight into this. Flora's out in the woods gathering herbs for the fairy that came in last night. Aisha revealed that the fairy is her younger sister, Tessa. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, wait, Aisha actually doesn't have a sister. Okay, no, technically she doesn't have a sister. Flora is the one who has a sister. I misspoke. So where this is depriving from is there is a kingdom in Winx Club that is very much connected to Flora's kingdom. Why did I say Flora? Aisha's kingdom, sorry. And one is the Mermaid Kingdom, and the other is Aisha's kingdom. And apparently, I think they're cousins? Yeah, that's right. They're cousins. Of course, I have weak Wi-Fi. There we go. Yeah. As you can see, Princess Teresa. I don't know how to say her name. Which is why I changed it to Tessa. But this is her cousin. It's the royal mermaid family of Andros. And the reason why she is not a mermaid and I changed her from her cousin to her sister is because my Fate books are connected to another series that I am working on. How do I explain this? Let me do it this way. When I was a kid, I so badly wanted to be part of all the series that I grew up watching. And so, my best way to do that was to create random stories where they were all connected. So, like, I made Mia and Me connected to Winx Club somehow. I made a fairy world where all the Winx Club kingdoms were in it. The Mia and Me kingdoms were in it. And there was even a kingdom that I was from in it. This was me as a kid. And so, I am still trying to create something that is like that. It's a little different. Mia and Me is no longer in it, and I still hold very dear to Winx Club, so I am going to try and keep as much Winx Club essence as I can in it. So I am creating a fairy series, and that is about a bunch of kingdoms and a girl who grows up in a kingdom, and she doesn't know she's from the fairy world. So I have that. And that girl, they're in the fairy world, it's solely fairies. There are no mermaids in that world. And so I left them out. Also, they're not in they're not in the live action Winx Saga. And I think that's solely because like they were trying to capture an adult audience, and I mean, I'm an adult and I'll watch anything that has mermaids in it. I'm not joking with you. I still love that stuff. But yeah, I changed it because this book is connected to my World series, which includes the fairy world, and which doesn't have mermaids in it right now. Later down the road, there will be a book where the mermaids connect to the fairy world, but it's way after the book 1, book 2, book 3, and book 3.5 of Winx Saga come out. So it's way after those. Anyway, let's continue. I feel like I talked too long. So Aisha revealed that the fairy is her younger sister, Tessa, who is a water fairy. Flora searches through the woods for the right herbs to get while she talks on the phone with Aisha, who is worried about her sister. Helderon root? Questioned Flora. Pretty sure Professor Paladin has already tried that. Can you remember what the bites on your sister look like? You know, does it look like multiple incisions? Is there a pattern? A description might help narrow it down, explained Flora. I don't know how to describe it. She's covered in scratches. Also, didn't Professor Paladin say no students near Tessa? Yes, he did say that. But I want to help. Plus, I can be very convincing. Well, sorry. Well, whatever happened to my sister might still be out there. I don't want you to get hurt, too. Maybe you should get back to the school grounds. It's dangerous out there. I mean, think of all the bad things that could happen to you. Okay, I don't need you to go into detail. I already know what's out here. I can handle it. I'll be done when I'm done. Okay, be safe. I'll see you when you get back, said Aisha as she ended the phone call. Aisha walks into Headmistress Farrah's office to hear the recap from Stella and Beatrix about what happened to Tessa. So, explain to me exactly what happened last night, said Farrah. We were talking about drama when all of a sudden we heard someone yelling for help, answered Beatrix. And like any sane person, we went to see who it was. Turns out it was Aisha's sister, Princess Tessa. She was covered in bite marks and barely conscious. We have no idea how she got bite marks, said Beatrix, trying to leave out the part about her sister. That's not totally true. The last thing she said before she passed out was Isabel, pointed out Stella. But how my sister got a hold of some creature that could do something is still a mystery. Okay, thank you for clearing that up, girls. You are all dismissed, said Farrah as Aisha, Stella, and Beatrix left the office. Beatrix went to find Darcy, while Stella walked with Aisha to the greenhouse. There, Aisha meets Flora. Stella is back to the suite. Aisha goes to see her sister, while Flora helps wrap up Helia's broken hand from the specialist training. Please tell me I'm supposed to paint with my left hand when I'm right-handed. Well, you can still squeeze the bottle with this hand, and you can learn to use the other hand for painting. I guess one person can learn a lot. Maybe you could teach me since you're left-handed. Maybe I could, answered Flora, hopeful about a date night. Also in the greenhouse is Musa talking to Riven. Helia looks over and sees them having a good time. Since when is Musa into Riven? Oh, they're nothing. Nor are they into each other, denied Flora. Are you sure about that? They seem pretty cozy to me, commented Helia. I'll go save her. You are all clear, by the way, said Flora as she got up and walked over to Musa and Ribbon. She grabbed a high-security case and handed it to her. This needs to go to the specialist training area straight away. Ribbon takes the case from Flora. Musa smiles at him and says, don't worry, there's probably nothing in there that is remotely fun or worth stealing. I'm just going to ignore the fact that my father is downstairs. Ribbon was about to say something else, but Helia stopped him. Come on, Rib. I'll take you to the right spot. Right, because your father wants everything placed in the right area, said Ribbon as he and Helia walked away. Musa watches them leave the greenhouse. You know, Ribbon has a lot of extreme toxic tendencies, right? Plus he's like one giant red flag. I know, but he's changed a lot since Darcy, defended Musa. Flora and Musa walk into the room where Tessa is being kept. They comfort Aisha. Meanwhile, Headmistress Farah discusses to Saul and Olivia what Isabel did at the Kingdom of Andros and several other kingdoms. Isabel has attacked several kingdoms in the fairy world, including Andros. Many fairies have gone missing and many have been injured. In the kingdom of Solaria, King Radius informed me that she was able to get into the royal archives. What would she want from the royal archives? I don't know, an ancient text or a powerful relic. Well, a man named Sebastian said she stole an ancient text about mystical creatures and blood magic. He was able to take some pictures of the book and some pages of it. He has a translation text for the book. Will he give us the text and the pictures? It would be better to send some specialists and fairies to get information and report back, suggested Saul. Okay, we'll send Bloom, Sky, Tekna, and Timothy, answered Farah. Great. I'll go get them. I'll go tell them about the mission, said Saul as he left the office and went to the courtyard where he met Bloom, Sky, Tekna, and Timothy. He told them about the mission, and then they left in an SUV headed to Blackbridge where Sebastian would meet them at his shop. Meanwhile, Musa, Flora, and Aisha watch over Tessa as Professor Paladine cleans up the bite marks. Musa feels Tessa's pain. Are you getting anything? Just pain? Answered Musa softly as Professor Paladine rubbed a green remedy on Tessa. I am doing all I can to help your sister, Aisha. Thank you, Professor, said Aisha as Professor Paladine hands the remedy to Flora so she can put it up. Hopefully when she wakes up we can get some answers. Have you tried Elderun Amalgam? Questioned Flora. Of course, Elderun Root was the first thing that I tried. Well, actually, Elderun Amalgam is similar to Elderun Root, but it's a compound, explained Flora as she handed the professor the formula. Professor Paladine looks over the formula on paper. This could wake Tessa up, but it's extremely powerful. If she reacts badly to it, it could be lethal, even with an antidote. But I think it's worth the risk. Flora, can you make the Elderun Amalgam, and I'll make the antidote. Aisha and Musa, you watch Tessa to make sure she stays, and tell me if anything changes. Professor Paladine leaves to make remedies. Meanwhile, Bloom, Sky, Tekna, and Timothy arrive at Sebastian's shop. In the shop, Sebastian greets them saying, Welcome to my shop. First world goods. You must be the team headmistress Darling sent to collect the information I obtained. We are. We are. And we brought a payment for you as well to show you thanks. Show you our thanks. Oh, no need for payment. I'm always happy to help. Fun fact, I have a knack for finding things. I like a terrier, but, cooler. Actually, maybe a different dog. What dogs are cool? Silence was Sebastian's only response. Anyway, I like to put my skills to use any way I can. So, shall we get started? I guess, answered Sky as he, Bloom, Tech, and Timothy arrived, gathered around the laptop with pictures of pages from the book that Isabel took from the Royal Archive. Beside the laptop was the translation text. Sebastian pulled up a picture of a scraper, a fat, worm-like creature that has a round mouth with thousands of sharp teeth that are used to suck up fairy magic. The pinchers on the creature match the bite marks on Tessa. That has to be what attacked her, right? Great observation, congratulated Sebastian as he began to click through the pictures as he continued speaking. Anyway, from what I've gathered from this language is that it's one of the dead ones. I think I remember some of these symbols from school. I was a bit of a history buff. After I carefully matched the symbols with the translation text, I was able to understand what I was reading. I broke the code, and now I will share the knowledge with you. As far as I can tell, this is some sort of summoning spell for those creatures. So, blood magic. Possibly, but it's ancient. So, Isabel is summoning these things to attack fairies. Why? For revenge? Wait, that symbol that looks like a J with a table next to it, it means store according to the text. And then that symbol means hold. Wait, that symbol at the top means magic. Together means hold magic or store magic, said Bloom as she pointed to the symbols on the picture. What if Isabel is summoning these things to steal magic from fairies, to make herself stronger? But Isabel is already one of the most powerful fairies in Blood Witch's life. The thing about power is, no matter how much you have, it's never enough, warned Sebastian. Timmy, you wrote all that down, right? Yep, we are good to go. Oh, all this seems just a little insane, said Timmy, ready to leave. Yeah, I think that's all we need to show that Isabel is a threat. Let's go, everyone. Thank you, Sebastian, for your help, said Sky. My pleasure, Your Highness. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help, said Sebastian as Bloom, Sky, Tech, and Timothy left the shop and headed back to Althea. Meanwhile, in the greenhouse, Flora carefully wraps vines around Tessa as Professor Paladine injects her with the Elder Malcolm. Aisha and Musa watch Tessa as she jolts awake, but she is unable to move due to the vines. Flora continues to hold Tessa down as Professor Paladine quickly grabs the antidote and injects her with it. Once the antidote is in her system, Tessa slows down and begins to recognize her surroundings. Aisha runs over to hug her sister, but Tessa quickly realizes her water bellies are gone. That didn't matter to Aisha, though. What happened was that Tessa was safe. What mattered was that Tessa was safe. In front of Althea, Bloom, Sky, Techna, and Timothy arrive and hand over the information they received to Headmaster Silva, who thanks them for helping out. Silva takes the information to Headmistress Darling. Meanwhile, in the suite, Aisha grabs some supplies before leaving Althea to take her sister back to Andros. You have a nice room. Thanks. Sal and I have worked really hard to keep it nice and clean, replied Aisha as she finished grabbing supplies. Aisha and Tessa head out, but they are stopped by Naboo. Hey, I didn't expect to run into you. I didn't expect to run into you. I was just checking in on you, said Naboo. And as I can see, you are fine and your sister is awake. Anyway, where are you headed off to? We are headed to the Kingdom of Andros, answered Aisha. Do you mind if I came along? I haven't seen you all day. Maybe after you drop off your sister at the castle, you and I can do something fun together, suggested Naboo. Aisha paused for a moment. Of course, you could always say no to the suggestion. Aisha thought about it and then smiled, saying, Naboo, I would be delighted for you to join us. And yes, perhaps afterwards you and I can do something fun. Sounds great, said Naboo, as he, Aisha, and Tessa left for Althea for the kingdom of Andros. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed that chapter reading. Chapter 4 will be out tomorrow, and that is all I have for you guys today. Bye!